Hello, and welcome to my happy place. I'm generally a pretty happy person, or I try to be a pretty happy person anywhere I go. But I can't lie. Everyone has that one happy place, where you really feel the happiest. Like, well, maybe it's a little cabin on the lake, or maybe it's that cabin you go to ski. Some place that you go that just makes you feel really happy. For some, it's the desert. For some, it's the mountains. And I do love the desert and I do love the mountains, but oh my goodness, for some reason, the sea is, well, not just the sea, this particular sea is my happy place. Okay, I've made videos here before, so you probably recognize where I am. It's called the Lost Coast of Northern California. And it's essentially this kind of foggy, misty forest and beach on this section of Northern California coastline that is totally disconnected from the rest of the world. Highway 1 goes up the coast of Northern California, but it kind of just north of the town called Fort Bragg, it veers inland. And so there's this whole chunk of coastline north of Fort Bragg that's completely cut off from the rest of California, from the rest of the country, from the rest of the world. It's just this rugged, foggy, awesome, weird place. And gosh, it seems like no matter how hot it is inland, in fact, it probably is about 150 degrees in Vegas right now, and it's probably about 130 degrees in Sacramento. It seems like it's always just foggy and misty and awesome here. Okay, I rolled in here yesterday and I just drove right out here onto the sand. This is one of the very few places in California where you're allowed to camp on the beach. And well, I've been here for about 24 hours. And to be honest, I really haven't done much. I guess it's just sort of a time for me to relax and recharge out here. Like I said, it's my happy place. I don't get out here very often. So when I do, man, I try to suck in as much of this awesome sea air as I can. I mean, this was like 300 miles out of my way. I was just up in the mountains outside Fresno for the last week. And then from there, I have to sort of make my way-ish back home in the next week. So to come all the way up here was way out of my way. But I really felt like I had no choice. I mean, it's important to go places that you love just for the sake of being here. I mean, even though I got here and I drank some cocoa, and then I took a nap, and then I went for a walk along the beach. And, I guess you could say I haven't been very productive, but I don't know. I feel like it's regenerative for the soul, and you can't discount that. I mean, I'm from California originally. I never really lived on the actual beach or on the coast, but I've always been within within an hour's drive of it. And gosh, I'll be honest, I sure would love to live somewhere on the coast, but unless I move to the Philippines or someplace like that, I'll never be able to afford it. So I just got to enjoy this sea time while I can. It's something about this beach in particular that I really like. I guess because it is kind of part of the Lost Coast, and so always shrouded in fog, and then just the types of plants and little flowers and this friggin' forest covered in mist. And then there's usually these giant elk laying in that field over there, but for some reason they're not here right now. It might be too early in the summer for them. But it's just a friggin' amazing place to camp. You can see that even though it's a Friday, there's not that many people here yet. Although I'm sure that will change as the afternoon goes on. I mean, I got here yesterday and it was kind of like this. Maybe a couple more people. But then as it got closer to evening, a bunch of bros rolled in and started playing music, and the foggy, mysterious vibe was kind of dampened a little bit, but it was still cool. I'm hoping to stay at least one more night here. I might end up, it depends on how it goes, I might end up having to move into the forest and find a campsite there, but that's okay because that's such a beautiful forest and there's so many cool campsites there. And besides, I am wearing my Bigfoot hat, so, why not? Another thing I like about this beach is my dad is the one who told me about it, and I wasn't that close to my dad growing up, but, I'd see him every now and then, and he mentioned coming up here to camp. And how there's no running water and it's just totally off-grid. And at the time I was like, oh God, how can you camp if there's no water? Well, I guess this was one of his favorite places. And unfortunately, he died 10 years ago. He committed suicide. And I think I know my stepmom actually scattered some of his ashes up here on this beach somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but it's cool. Like, so when I come here, not only am I enjoying my happy place and getting my sea time, well, I also get to spend some time with the spirit of my dad. Anyway, I think it's just about noon, and I'm just sitting here at my little campsite enjoying this awesome campfire in a can. I mean, if you've never heard of these things, let me tell you about this. This has revolutionized my camping game. Okay, first of all, I'm not getting sponsored by these people or anything. A viewer of mine sent me these things, and they're freaking amazing. I'm just telling you, I really like this. It's called Radiate Portable Campfire, and it's essentially just a giant candle, so it's super easy to light it. It's just wax and recycled paper. In fact, I think it's recycled wax. It says on the thing it's made from recycled wax, so I guess that's good for the environment, whatever. Well, it can't be good for the environment. Look how sooty it got from being here. Anyway, it's just really convenient because it's easy to light, and then when you want to put it out, all you have to do is like slide the lid right over it and it goes right out, and then you just wait till the wax solidifies and the can cools down and you're good to go. Super convenient and super cozy. I got some hot cocoa. I've been sitting here for like, oh gosh, 2 hours probably, just sitting by this campfire in a can, looking out at the sea, enjoying the smell of the sea, the feel of the sea on my skin. You can hear the little sea birds all chirping around. Did see a couple of deer come out earlier from the forest. No telling what other wildlife I'll see. Bigfoot. Actually, it just occurred to me, the last time I came here and made a video, there was a forest fire. I don't know if you watched that video. It didn't get as many views as some of my other videos, inexplicably, but yeah, I was camped here with my family summer of 2019, and some idiots were shooting off bottle rockets on the beach, and it was real hot and dry. It was actually a sunny day that day, which is how you know it was hot and dry, because it seems like it's always cold and misty here, but that day it was hot and sunny, and well, this whole hillside here caught on fire, and that blocked the only road out of here. There's only one way into this beach, and it's a long, bumpy dirt road that's pretty severely rutted and challenging in the best of times, but imagine when it's on fire. We were all trapped out here, all the campers, and there was a bunch of people camped here. It was a weekend, so they rounded everybody up onto the beach there, and we all had to wait all night while the Cal Fire came in with the helicopters and dumped water on it and put it out, and then the police escorted us through. Apparently there is another way out of here, but it's a private logging road, so they opened that up and let us get out that way. That was wild. You can check that video out, and I encourage you to do so because it was really dramatic. But anyway, looks like the whole thing recovered, because driving in, everything was just as lush and green as ever. So thankfully, fires happen, man, and it's just the natural way of things. That obviously wasn't. It was somebody with bottle rockets, but the Seaside Hillside has recovered. Man, this guy over here is living the dream. Look at this. Okay, this guy in the sportsmobile. That's the spot I actually wanted. Because it's where all the elk usually hang out, and it's just in the middle of that meadow. Yeah, it's kind of exposed, and there's really no privacy, but I just thought that'd be a cool place to camp. But sportsmobile man already had it, so I came over here, and this is fine too. I mean, I'm sort of backed up against this beautiful formerly burned hillside, and it's just got the most beautiful flowers and birds, and I got my little I built this little windbreak because it was kind of breezy earlier, and it was a little difficult to get the fire lit, but I got her going, and it's putting off a decent amount of heat for just what's essentially just a giant candle. And I'll be honest, I feel like I could stay here for at least a week. I probably have enough water. I'm running a little low on fuel, but I could make it work. I could easily stay here for a week, but unfortunately I got to start making my way back inland to the desert for a couple of reasons. Well, one, I ordered a new bumper. You know how my bumper has been messed up, and it's like taped on with duct tape, and it's ironically the very first week I got this car, the very first week I came here to this very beach and backed into a tree, and that's when all the trouble started. This thing got all bumped up the very first week. Happened right back there in that grove of trees. How about that? So it's kind of fitting that my first trip with this bumper was here, and my last trip with this bumper will be here, because yes, I did finally order a new bumper, or new to me anyways. It's a used bumper I got on eBay from a guy in Houston who does, like, I guess he has some kind of wrecking yard. So it's got some scratches on it, but it's already painted, primed and painted the correct color. So I don't care if there's a few scratches on it. And he called me, you know, to make sure I understood what I was buying. I go, listen, a few scratches is much better than what I currently have. So it was like a little over $200, and that included shipping. It was a great deal. And come to find out, the reason the shipping was so cheap is he ships using Greyhound cargo. Greyhound bus does cargo. I didn't know that. And so that's also why he was calling me. He called to make sure I understood the bumper had some scratches. And he also wanted to make sure I understood he ships via Greyhound cargo, so it's going to take a while to get to Vegas from Houston. He said it won't be there until the end of the month. Well, that was perfect because I was planning on traveling and being out here in this amazing environment. So I said no problem. So I got to go back into Vegas by the end of the month to pick that up. A, and B, it's actually something else I have to go back down there for. My sister and I bought property in the desert, okay? Well, the seller was supposed to be out of there by July 1st. And so we had planned to meet up on July 1st and spend the night in our new house. I don't really plan on staying out there because it's going to be too hot, but we wanted to at least, you know, spend a night or two, and she's going to stay out there. Well, come to find out, the seller actually left early, 10 days early. So my sis went out yesterday and got the keys. She's already there. So, woohoo! I also have to go back down there so I can check out my new digs in the desert. How exciting is that? So I'm really not that bummed to be going home. And besides that, I have 6 more days. So my plan was just to kind of make my way back down the 395, the Eastern Sierra corridor, which is absolutely beautiful. And there's so much stuff there that I want to stop and shoot videos of. I can hardly complain. But that being said, man, I just want to enjoy this ocean sea time as much as I can before I do have to go back inland. But actually, you know what's really interesting? What I was thinking is the property that my sister and I bought is in a part of the desert that's really, well, it's weirdly kind of seems like you're at the ocean. There's a lot of like low rolling sand dunes, and the dunes are even covered with grasses that look like stuff that you would see at the ocean, you know, like you see those grasses growing on the dunes. I mean, I guess this area actually probably was underwater. It probably was a prehistoric ocean thousands of years ago. But now it's just like a ghost ocean. How about that? A ghost ocean in the desert. It sounds like the perfect place for me. A ghost ocean full of ghost starfish and ghostly kelp and ghost mermaids, ghost sea captains. Oh, I can't wait. As much as I love the real ocean, I'm actually looking forward to moving out to the ghost ocean just as much. Anyway, that's all the news for now. I guess I'm going to wrap this up because there's people walking by, and God, everybody here probably thinks I'm a weirdo already. I'm just going to sit here and wait till my campfire in a can burns down, and then I'll probably take a walk along the beach and, well, maybe go post up in the forest and look for Bigfoot. Okay, but before I sign off, I'm just going to sit here and record the ambient noise so you too at home can experience what I'm experiencing right now, sitting on this cold, foggy, damp, rugged, mysterious Northern California beach on the Lost Coast. Okay, imagine it's about 55 degrees, a little breeze. You can probably hear the surf. Might be able to hear birds every now and then. Might even be able to hear the old campfire crackling. Doesn't crackle much, it's a candle. Got our hot cocoa.